All right, we're back with the last match of the night at Guardian Games. A modern classic, I would call it. We have Murktide versus Yawgmoth. This is Jeffrey, who we saw earlier, running hot, 3-0, playing against Jeremy on Yawgmoth, who we have not had on stream tonight, but here he is now. And we're ready to abuse our graveyards, I think, with both decks.
Who do you like in this match?
I think that I like Yawgmoth more.
As do I.
I think just because Yawgmoth has a way to present lethal in a turn, where Murktide very much has to grind its way through it. Yeah, I think I'm definitely on Team Yawgmoth, but Murktide also is a red deck, and it has lots of removal and lots of ways to interact. It's a blue deck as well, so there's definitely ways to interact.
The thing that I've been interested in and haven't really kept up with is I know that Yawgmoth was very much favored when the threat package for Murktide was Darcy heavy because Endurance was just such a blowout when that card resolved when Darcys were swinging in. I don't know how much Ledger Shredder helps the matchup on the Murktide side.
My inclination says not a lot because it costs 2 mana. I think when Murktide can start with a Darcy that then gets big on turn 2, like you are in like much better shape, and have a way to pressure and then can hold up mana for any piece of interaction. Looks like maybe we have a judge question before we've even drawn. I'm just gonna pop out and make sure that it's not a stream question.
Okay. I think I'm also, I feel like you're playing Yawgmoth to kind of beat up on Murktide decks. I do think that there are some good sideboard cards that Jeffrey could have post-board that would be very strong here. I think Unlicensed Hearst is a very reasonable to good card against Yawgmoth. I don't know. I was actually we don't know the exact color, but I do think that they look really clean.
Oh, yeah, they look great.
Yeah.
I think that also Ledger Shredder getting counters is kind of relevant in this match. Like in that it's worse because like Yawgmoth can just remove those counters and like.
You mean with -1 counters?
Yeah. It's like a weird thing.
You could also accidentally proliferate them if you're not paying attention and give it more counters.
Whoa, that's true. If that happens this match,
I think Jeremy's heads up enough to not accidentally proliferate.
He probably didn't get to 3-0 by accidentally proliferating
the wrong counters.
Yeah. I think that the non-creature spells are especially essential in this matchup. Is how I feel. Your like Eldritch Evolutions and your Court of Callings, and that like the beatdown plan is a little bit harder.
Ooh, Eldritch Evolution is scary to fire off against Murktide, though. That thing gets countered, you're sad.
Yeah, that's true. You're down 2.
Jeffrey does have quite a few dress downs, I think, in the 75, given what we saw, I think, the first time we saw them playing.
I think that we know they have at least 2 in the main deck, right? I think we saw 2.
And 1 in hand currently.
Are we going to answer the ultimate question of how good is Ledger Shredder?
So no Shredder for playing the Bauble. So I imagine what we're going to see from Jeffrey is play land, hold up dress down, end of Jeremy's turn, cast dress down, deal with whatever's on board.
I think that you want to like keep. Do we have 2 dress downs in hand?
Just 1.
I think you want to keep dress down for like a situation where you can like, I don't know. I like a good gotcha. So like remove Undying from your creature, block it, kill it. I think that Yawgmoth often just feels like I can just swing. I can swing because like I'm gonna get everything back.
Yeah, Jeffrey not opting to fire off the dress down, so...
Yeah. Well, Jeremy also missed a land drop, so...
Oh, right.
Yeah, which is rough. But I think that was a multi 5, so...
I thought Jeffrey... Was it Jeremy? I thought Jeffrey was the one mulling. Or was it Jeremy the mulled?
No, I think Jeremy mulled.
Okay.
Yeah, we now have Counterspell up. We can just... Oh, we got a Ledger Shredder.
Might as well just wait, though.
No,
like,
I
so
think
you can hold up Counterspell. I feel like... Oh, interesting.
I like it. There's no threat that they're going to... I guess, like, Wall of Roots is the best thing that Jeremy could do.
Yeah, that's fair. And you do have heat up.
Oh, sorry. Jeremy's saying that he mulled to 6, not to 5, but kept the 1-lander.
Jeremy inviting Jeffrey to come on in. Come on.
I mean, at this point, there's like no...
Ooh, Hapatra is in Jeremy's hand. Been a hot second since I've seen a Hapatra in Yawg.
Yeah, this is the unfortunate way that Magic goes sometimes, that I think we all are aware that we play a game of variance, and sometimes variance is not your friend.
But that's why you play best of 3.
If I... Oh, we had to go to cleanup. Being aware that if you agree to go to cleanup, you cannot do things in your end step.
Oh, I just realized that Jeremy has a tattoo that says "Lucky" on this. Right, yeah. Not
On
this
his hand.
game.
Yeah, less this game than any other game. I think that if you're Jeffrey, do you like dress down and get rid of this Yawgmoth?
Yeah,
like, why,
I think so.
Why?
I mean, you're not winning this game quickly with this Ledger Shredder.
Yeah.
So Jeremy can actually get back into this game.
That is the scariest thing that Jeremy could do. So a 1-land hand with Wall of Roots Yawgmoth is probably greedy, but I think, keepable.
Yeah, on a mull to 6, you're
Yeah.
probably expecting that your opponent may have kept something with Ragavan or something like that,
I think Jeremy's also holding a Court of Calling, so that Wall of Roots would have been very, very good. That would have put him back in the game.
I mean, one more land off the top. Jeremy's only had to go to discard 1 time, and Jeffrey honestly is like kind of flooding out a little bit.
Yeah.
With not much to speak of as far as threats. Are we not getting any life total changes? I will go out and check on it.
Yeah. This is like good sequencing, I think, on Jeffrey's part. Casting the dress down to trigger connive, and then the dress down is resolving, so we're still getting a connive. The connive trigger is happening, and then drawing from the dress down. I think that if you've already dressed down, you should... I would have just fired off the removal spell to get rid of the Yawgmoth. All right, life totals are updated. We did not fire off the removal spell with dress down in play. We did draw a Ragavan. I bet if we would have fired off that removal spell, we would have felt pretty good about this Ragavan draw.
Double connive is pretty good, though.
Keeping only 1 heat, which means that we're not doing anything else with our mana. Slowly chipping away.
And holds up counterspell.
Yep. It's definitely the right call. Again, like the best thing I think that could happen on Jeremy's side is a Wall of Roots. There it is. Oh, Jeffrey, don't be greedy.
This has got to get the counter.
We've got. Well, I guess.
Hmm.
Well, No unholy heat. No nothing.
Wow.
Oh, maybe he's like planning to counter the Court of Calling instead.
I mean, I could see that being the case. Jeffrey's finally starting to accelerate a little bit here. You can still heat the Wall of Roots.
You can heat the Wall of Roots. I feel I disagree. I think not countering that Wall of Roots, knowing that Jeremy is missing land drops, is
Oh, it's a little puzzling given that we didn't use the mana. Wow. Huh.
sure.
This is interesting how Jeffrey is playing this.
You might as well discard your heats. You're not playing them. Slowly chipping away.
I mean, the clock's getting bigger. The Ledger Shredders...
The Ledger Shredders are starting to get out of control.
Probably a 2-turn clock at this point. I don't think you could make the Ledger Shredders enough to deal lethal next turn without a bolt.
What are we countering? What are we going to counter if it's not the Court of Calling?
Maybe we're just not countering anything if it's not Yawgmoth here.
I guess, but like Yawgmoth isn't even killing you right now. You're not even. Well, I always think I don't have to be afraid of this deck, and then all of a sudden it kills you. So
yeah, I think it's reasonable to only respect Yawgmoth here, because like you have 2 flyers that are gonna kill in a turn or 2 turns. So like you're not losing to, sometimes you lose to like medium beats, right? When you're against Yawgmoth, that's not gonna happen this match.
Oh, Grist is another good thing to counter.
Jeremy still doesn't have access to black, but I believe
with Court of Calling, right,
is a black land in hand. This is what I would counter.
You have to counter this. Okay. All right, we agree.
Mm-hmm. I believe Jeremy did pick up a fetch or some land that produces black.
Oh, is it a fast land? Yeah.
Wait. It should come into play untapped if it's a fast land. What is that? Is that hissing Quagmire? What is that?
Oh, you know what? Maybe. No, there's no black land that would come into play. Is that like a promo Overgrown Tomb or something?
Oh, maybe so. Yeah, because none of the fast land should have come to play untapped. I'd believe it's a. Is that really Blooming Marsh? Because if it is Blooming Marsh, it should be untapped. But because Dryad Arbor.
Oh,
Dryad Arbor. Yeah. Okay, chat was.
Chat
was way
good job being in the booth, chat. That's
somebody in chat like typed Arbor, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, I was like, Arbor's a land. Yeah,
sure.
that's true. Yeah.
I get it.
All right, we're in round 4. We counted to 4 once tonight. Counting to 4 a second time is asking a lot of us.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, what is Yawgmoth? Yawgmoth needs an Endurance, right, or a Grist. If they have both, that's even better. I don't know how you're gonna play both, but
yeah, we got there. We got there eventually. Just took three reminders.
Classic Dryad Arbor is a land drama in the booth at Guardian Games.
Well, if Jeremy would put it with the lands instead of the creatures like you're supposed to, hidden under like 4 other lands, then we would have known.
All right. This has got to be a Grist.
That was a joke, chat. Okay, good.
Yeah. Friendly game of Magic, making sure we get our connive triggers. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, Still on Team Yawgmoth, primarily. The deck didn't lose. It lost only to itself.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. I mean, that's a rough.
Nothing you could do.
Honestly, Jeremy fought for much longer than I would have generally expected. So, yeah.
I mean, if that first wall of roots would have gotten through that, I think that game goes a little bit more sideways.
There's no place to go but up if you're Yawgmoth. The chances of having another game that bad, low.
Low. Yeah, that could never happen in Magic.
Low. That's just low. It could happen, but it's low.
We see hearses. You mentioned that earlier, that you felt like that card was pretty good.
Which one?
Hearse.
Yeah.
Unlicensed hearse.
For Jeffrey's side, yeah, being able to snag a creature with the Undying trigger on the stack.
Brian,
is solid
or
here.
whatever, the store closed 12 minutes ago, so no one is going to answer your call. But if you register twice, that means someone will get a buy. So.
Is the RCQ like really soon or something?
It is on the 17th, I believe, at Guardian Games. Yeah.
Oh, so
Modern.
can't you just like call tomorrow and?
Yeah, you can call tomorrow. That's fine. That'll be fine.
Yeah.
I think capped at 80 players, so we'll have a lot of
Ooh.
Modern being played. Yeah.
And it reached cap already?
No, I don't know if it
Oh,
probably didn't
okay.
reach cap yet, but it'll reach cap, I think.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it's the last constructed one for the Portland area, so I think everyone will be coming out to play and
Yeah.
take their shot.
People will
at
be desperate.
it. Yep. People in this booth will be
Please.
desperate. Yeah.
Please.
What other cards is Murktide thinking about? You already have the dress downs, which are not amazing, but definitely not great.
we just went past unlicensed Hearst. So
I think you got to bring in unlicensed.
I think you do too.
Honestly,
but
it's not crippling, but it is interactive enough.
yeah, that's kind of how I felt. But Jeffrey does not feel the same as I do, and I don't play Murktide, so
Yeah.
you know.
Brian, I'm excited for you to call the store, tell them you double registered. They'll remove both your registrations, and then you'll show up the day of the RCQ and not be
No,
registered.
that's so sad. Don't even say that.
No, it wouldn't happen. Guardian keeps their stuff in order when it comes to tournament stuff.
Yes. They run great events here.
Yeah. I definitely in
I'm gonna
Panda.
forget.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I would hope they would catch it. They also I think typically register people the night before, so they should catch it the night before.
Unless you use two different names.
That would be some hoops to jump through.
Uh-huh.
If you're checking out with your Guardian account and using two different names.
Yeah.
Postboard, what is Yawgmoth bringing in this matchup?
More endurances, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Endurance seems fine. Oh,
You definitely. I mean,
Scoos?
I think you do side out the Eldritch evolutions in the in the matchup. Oh. Yeah, I think the Eldritch evolution should be out on
Yeah.
Jeremy's side.
What's the delve? He's 2 blue and then 5.
Are we talking Thrun, like the troll that regenerates that's uncounterable?
Yeah, not
'Cause
Archangel of Thrun.
If that's what we're talking about, I don't.
Oh, that's true. Veils seem fine.
Yeah, Veil seems.
Yeah. That's who we're talking about. The troll.
Okay.
Yeah, that card is very annoying for any blue deck.
But
think-
you have Ledger Shredders now. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's
I
true,
feel like
yeah.
Ledger Shredder just does not care about Thrun.
Scoos came in. Jeremy's got one in his opener.
Leaves graveyard. Okay. So expressive iteration doesn't function in that way because it's not like exiling a card in that.
I think Jeremy is already fishing for information to make sure Scavenging Ooze works the way he thinks it does when Murktide is in play. Which it does. It will give Murktide counters if you eat things out of the graveyard. Great start for Yawg. This is exactly what you want. And a second land.
There's the Scoos.
Yeah, you play a dork if you have it. Oh, sure. That's also good.
So I was like, I guess you could.
Have to do a little bit of preempt like
That'd be some
preemptive graveyard eating with the Scavenging Ooze to make sure that Murktide doesn't come
Oh, yeah.
down. And I've definitely seen people miss that play where all of a sudden the Murktide players in their main phase, nothing's been eaten, and they can just cast a Murktide.
I find that to be a very difficult balance because I play decks with Nile Spellbomb and things like
Yeah.
that, and I'm always just like, sometimes I have found myself just being like, I can't beat a Murktide here, so I'm firing off a Nile Spellbomb even if I can't draw a card.
Right. Well, I think, too, sometimes you look at the Murktide side and they have a fetch land up, and you're like, oh, maybe they're going to crack the fetch and then hope that, play their Murktide from there. But, like, that isn't always the case if they don't have
Right.
to. Subtlety seems pretty good from the Murktide side.
Yeah.
Definitely
Yeah,
not bad.
I like subtlety post board in this matchup.
Scavenging Ooze is surprisingly good in the face of Dress Down. Like, that card does not interact with that. I mean, it does a little bit, but it's
Yeah,
never gonna
still
fully-
gonna keep its counters.
Yeah, it still gets its counter in its life if you're eating a creature.
No creatures in the yard just yet, and the only real way that Jeremy has of removing the Ledger Shredder is Grist. Or Yawgmoth, obviously getting
Yeah, the -1.
-1 counters, but Grist is the easier way to do it.
Do you have a reason to...
Oh, subtlety is in hand, huh? for
Subtlety's in
Jeffrey?
hand.
Yeah.
I think that you feel good attacking with Yawgmoth here to make it a 2/2.
I don't.
I don't know.
I don't
I
think
don't know. I'm not a
so.
Yawgmoth player.
I think it's too good of a resource in general to have up.
True. Yeah. We are. I mean, the deck can hit Delirium so fast. Oh, we have an Endurance in hand. That's
Although
what we're
we have
thinking
not
there,
seen a
but-
single copy of Dragon's Rage's Channeler from Jeffrey in both all 4 games total we've watched now, so I would hazard to say that the deck is not playing
Yeah.
Darcy.
Jeffrey now has access to Archmage's Charm, which can do some dumb stuff. I wonder if... Okay, I like that play a lot. Just
Although
eat.
stealing the Young Wolf is, like stealing stuff with Archmage's Charm is kind of medium against this deck because you kill the Young Wolf, it gets the Undying Trigger, and then comes back on Jeremy.
Yeah,
so
I was thinking like maybe stealing the Dork is something you want to think about here in the end step. I don't know. I guess then they get to Cord. Yeah, I guess you're not doing that. That's a terrible play. Don't listen to me, Jeffrey.
Yeah, I don't think you want to go shields down at this
Ever,
point if you
yeah.
can help it. Although your hand is certainly kind of clunky if you don't. Like, you may have to make the first move.
Well, so we've got Counterspell Dress Down. So I think that we can maybe like play a Dress Down. Oh my! I think you just let this resolve. You can't afford to deal with it, right?
I agree with you. I mean, I think if you're
I think you try to double spell on Yawg's turn with Dress Down Counterspell. Like if they cast something, if they go to cast something that you think is going to matter, you Dress Down, you counter it, you get your Connive trigger,
right,
and you start to like be able to block things forever.
right, because you just need one Connive trigger to block Endurance.
Yeah, I guess this is in end step, so like this might be a good time to like you could Counterspell and Dress Down here, right? Okay.
Could have been scary if Jeremy had Veil of Summer there, but it looks like that was not the case. This also gives the Skoos a piece of fodder.
That's true. I guess like what I'm worried about there is like knowing that I don't have a second counterspell. Like you have just given them Court of Calling.
Mm-hmm. Blood Artist.
Yeah, Blood Artist seems good. Oh yeah, you're just baiting. Like, please eat this. Or please, take this damage and let me eat my endurance.
Damage. You're 15. Good.
Does Jeremy have a Court of Calling, or is he just like keeping up scoos?
I have not seen Jeremy's hand, so I don't
There's
know.
there's definitely a Strangleroot Geist and then something else. Is that a heat? Oh, it's so good right now.
Well, it's kind of weird because you can't lead with heat. So you have to hope that Jeremy tries to get value here by eating the endurance. And then you can heat in response.
What? Yeah. I don't think Dress Down is that good in this matchup that like I'm holding that card when like I could do something like turn off Birds of Paradise, right?
I guess you can force Jeremy's hand, or you could have there. You can go Dress Down, and then if Jeremy responds by trying to eat the endurance, you can still do that this turn though.
Oh, well, you can't do it now because he has more green mana, right?
No, it doesn't matter because there's no other creatures to eat anyway.
Oh, that's right. There's only one creature.
Yeah, so I think it's reasonable to do it now.
Before damage.
Oh, yeah. You can just. No, yeah, I think the exile is part of the cost. It's not just green activate.
That was my understanding as well, but let's look up Scavenging Ooze.
Bring it up. I do believe you, Brian. You've played this deck a lot.
And you'll lose a life, and I'll gain a life from.
Hmm.
Oh, sure. I'm a 21 year.
Okay.
Well,
Interesting.
exile on resolution.
Okay. So Jeremy could have
Yeah.
retargeted then.
Colons are very, very important in Magic
Yeah.
text.
Yeah, no kidding. Good to know.
What are we stealing? Blood Artist.
Well, can't steal that. Cost
two?
Uh-huh.
That foil version looks like it costs 1.
They made it cheaper because it's foil.
We'd hold on to this Dress Down since turn 1, and now we're just going to discard it for a counter. I am not a Murktide player. I don't know what's going on.
Scoo's getting taken out at this point is big game with the Murktide in hand. Jeffrey's getting close to having a big dragon.
I mean, again, we can never discount Yawgmoth though, right? Like it isn't. It's a deck that like.
It's got all the pieces to kill you right now in play besides Yawgmoth.
Yep, and like it's looking for like a way to like double spell you out of the game.
But I actually think Jeffrey's hand is pretty bad.
And if that first spell is Thoughtseize, that usually helps.
I'm pretty sure Jeffrey's hand is.
I think Jeffrey's hand is not going to win with this turn.
I thought it was like a birds and something else.
I think it might be Bird Strangleroot Geist, which is not great.
Yeah.
But Jeffrey is ramping up for a Murktide.
So here's the weird thing. Do you go for... What do you hit here? Do you hit... I feel like you have to either hit Subtlety or Murktide.
You hit the Murktide. You can't beat the Murktide, right? I mean, I guess you grist it, but like...
Yeah, like, can you beat the Subtlety? I mean, that's almost worse.
Subtlety... You also can't beat Subtlety, but Subtlety doesn't kill you as quickly, right?
True.
Also, yeah, there's no way for you to ever block the subtlety. I mean, oh, well, endurance blocks subtlety
Yeah.
profitably, right? Yeah, so yeah, I think you definitely are happy to take a Murktide here. Agreed. I would be getting rid of that Blood Artist as fast as I possibly could.
Am I crazy to feel like Blood Artist is like the least important card? I mean, I guess it's the only thing you can remove. You can't, or besides the birds, you can't really get rid of the
Well,
Yawgmoth for the
like
Strangler.
that's like how
but-
the combo's gonna kill you, right?
Well, yes, technically, but you can also just like kill them by drawing a bunch of cards and then like playing Gris and
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. But like, at least like then you like force them to spend a bunch. Like they're limited to the life total they have.
yeah.
Also, I've seen like some versions which playing Soul Warden, which I don't love, but like sometimes they do that.
Yeah, there's another Strangle Root. I feel like Jeremy's got to just start getting in with like Strangle Roots and just accepting that there's going to be.
we took the bolt, so I think that we're thinking that we can create a situation where we can combo kill. Yeah. I think that's what I was saying. Who cares about your 1/1? Make it a 2/2.
Is
And
it,
like,
I mean, now it makes, especially with a Blood Artist in play, I think it makes it.
yeah, you should be swinging.
Mm-hmm.
This is the plan B of the Yawgmoth deck.
Because every time these, like, if Jeffrey decides to block now, the creatures are worth even more damage with the Blood Artist in play.
Right. Yeah, that 1/1 is dealing at least 1 damage.
Mm-hmm. Because, yeah, I'm pretty sure Jeremy had basically nothing in hand. So I think this is, like, kind of the desperation, like, I need to just try and get in damage and sneak a win.
Oh, I guess what Jeremy has to play right now is them just hard casting subtlety, right? Yeah. But that's, like, barely relevant.
Once this resolves. Well, how about this?
Jeffrey clarifying if this resolves against the green deck.
It'll go on the model.
Yeah, Jeremy's saying I don't want to draw another subtlety or another Strangleroot Ghost.
I think that's pretty smart after the bolt. Taking the bolt. I think that's really heads up of Jeffrey to recognize if my opponent's targeting bolt, then, you know, then their plan is to just get after me with the
Yeah.
creatures they have in play.
Okay. From here, I'm going to be on Team Murktide.
Yeah, as far as like who has the advantage.
Yeah. You're resolving your namesake card.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably in a pretty good spot. Jeremy has 0 cards in hand. You have a counter spell.
Do you have the Archmage's
He has
Charm?
an Archmage's Charm, and he
Okay.
can cast a Murktide this turn. That's hard.
Jeffrey's.
Dragon time.
Wow. This is aggressive.
He's at 13.
Yeah, this is really aggressive. Even with the Murktide, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I guess what's Jeremy swinging
What
with
is-
anyway? Yeah,
Yeah, well, and like, what is Jeremy drawing here that like
Yeah.
your 1 counter spell isn't going to answer?
right. Good point.
Jeremy needs at least 2 draw steps to do something. But gaining a life, which is good.
There's the Dagron.
3 counters on the Murky Murk. All right, that's quite the clock.
All the creatures are flyers, so you can't come up the board very well.
Yeah, we also have a Spell Pierce. Yeah, this is I think going the way of Murktide. All of Murktide's lands tap for green, not utilizing that in any critical way. You might as well just swing with your Strangleroot Geist, right? You might as well. I think I feel like there were attacks here that could have been made that just like may make a small amount of difference.
It's possible. Jeffrey's still, I mean, 12 is still a relatively high life total.
In this situation, you have an ignoble hierarch. You might as well just attack for 3. What are you losing?
What are you attacking with?
The Stranglegeist for 3?
I mean, it's just getting blocked by the Murktide.
Great, you gain a life, and then you get a 3/4, or a 3/2.
I guess.
No fiery islet last turn. Just played the Murktide with double island. He back. I think he tapped it initially and backed it up.
Oh, okay.
Or they did.
I didn't hear it. I'm sorry. You're good.
Yeah,
Go to combat.
love it. Those are doing nothing on the board. You might as well get in damage.
I don't love playing the ignoble hierarch and then attacking with 2 creatures.
I agree. I would have done it in the other order. I would have not played the ignoble.
Because
You're also, knowing they have Archmage's Charm, you're opening yourself up to like Archmage's Charm, take your
Yeah.
ignoble, block your thing, gain a life.
right,
like-
yeah, you're forcing
yeah.
Jeffrey to respect a lot more if you don't play the ignoble first. I mean, this is a tough game to win in either case if you're on Jeremy's side, but
Yeah, this is just aggro city here.
But the-
Correct. The islet does tap for green, which is the joke I just made. I guess they were taking advantage of it, so joke's on me.
yeah, I'm also a little surprised that Jeffrey didn't block. So, I mean, Blood Artist could, now with everything,
The potential to deal at least 6.
yeah, wow.
Right. Triggering and dying is definitely not the end of the world, and I'd rather do it now than allow them to find some way to make a Yawgmoth.
Yeah. Man, if Jeremy steals this game. So there's no more ability to block the flyers on Jeremy's
yeah.
side.
Jeremy, oh. Yeah, I think Jeremy's putting his graveyard sideways and his exile up and down is what's going on. But do you still have Scavenging Ooze up? By chance?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where a million ducks. I think that's what the confusion is. But I'm gonna ask that we call the head judge of MTG Judge Chat. But green, exile target card from a graveyard. So green, activate, target something, and then you could activate for green again and target the exact same card, and then the first one would resolve and the second one would fizzle. Weird interaction. Not something that I have thought much about. We're just loading the yard for the second Murktide.
If this match gets to second Murktide, it would be,
We're almost there.
yeah.
Now we're not attacking with the Ledger Shredder. Jeffrey's suddenly aware of what single-digit life totals look like with a Blood Artist in play.
Yeah.
I think that's maybe what that was. All right, one big turn for Yawgmoth.
Actually, I'm sorry.
Just how do you get through the Archmage's Charm?
I don't think you can. I think especially if you're planning to use your Yawgmoth Undying trigger, like even steal the Yawgmoth stops you from getting extra damage out there.
Right.
The only card I think Jeremy's drawing right here is Veil of Summer. Right? It's Veil of Summer plus something.
Right.
Or Thoughtseize plus something would also maybe potentially be enough.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I hope there's some absolute spicer of a card.
So I heard take 3, you're at 2 there.
Oh, do we draw another Scavenging Ooze, which would be so good right now?
The thing is, nothing's going to resolve through the Archmage's
Well,
Charm.
I know. If the Scavenging Ooze comes into play.
Man, yeah.
You can play
There's Yogg, and we will see the Archmage's Charm.
Wow. So we blocked. Oh, I guess we had to block with the birds twice. Yeah, it had to be Yogg Veil of Summer, right? Yeah. Oof.
Wow.
Oof. Good games though.
Murktide takes it.
Yeah. But Yawgmoth applying that pressure the entire time, right? You just never know what like that like you draw one card and that match is over. Yeah. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. That's round 4 of Modern Mondays at Guardian Games. Had some pretty exciting matches tonight.
Oh yeah.
We had a variety.
Yeah, we had
Covered a
some
lot of
bangers.
bases of decks.
All right. Yeah, we appreciate everybody tuning in. We'll be back next Monday for more modern action. Yeah, like, subscribe, all of the things, and
We'll see you next week.
Have a great night.